sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your guy, Nick Frazier, man. We back around the water cooler night. Auburn Tez is with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, man. This is going to be a good show. This is going to be a good show, ladies and gentlemen, man. Y'all ready for tonight? We're talking about Joe Phillips, the next one, the great one. Y'all know what it is. Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Coming up next, Eugene Asante.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
You are now tuned in to Water Cooler Talks, covering everything you love about college football, especially everything going down in the SEC Conference. So, if you love college football, you need to lock in. And now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Yes, sir. We are back around the water cooler, man. And as always, man, we thank y'all so much for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler. I am Nick Frazier, one half of the Water Cooler Talk. And of course, tonight with me around the water cooler is our guy, our friend, our brother, our cousin, our uncle, Auburn Tez. Tez, how you feeling tonight, man?
Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. What yourself?
I'm here, man. It's like you said, it's one of those. It's been one of them days, but it's okay. We're gonna make it through.
Yeah.
You know, I look forward.
It's greater later.
I look forward to this time period every day because it's I get a chance to sit down and do what I enjoy doing. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us, and man, follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Follow us on Twitter. If you have a Twitter, follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23. And of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube. So you know when we post more videos and when we go live, man. We are on our way to 700 subscribers. So please share the content. Let your friends know. Let them know that we out here in these streets trying to give you some really good content when it comes to this football talk and this recruiting talk, dealing with Auburn and the SEC in high school, man. We appreciate y'all so much for continuing to rock with us, man. Take a look at the comments, man. We got some people in the comments tonight, bro. What's going on in the comments? Auburn Dad coming in and saying, War Eagle, what's up, Auburn Dad? Hope you good. Hope everything is good with you, man. He also says, man, yeah, I believe based on reports that's given the chance this year, he will have a great year. You know, we talking about Joe Phillips. So it's some chatter. It's some chatter. That's the reason why I kind of want to talk about this one, because there's some chatter saying that, you know, we can see something. And he said we're gonna need him to live up to his potential. Agree with you there, man. The legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams, Huggy Beard, is around the water cooler with us. What's up, Huggy? How you feeling?
Huggy.
How you feeling? Auburn Dan said, Tez, what's up, man?
What's happening?
What's up, man? What's going on, Huggy? How you feeling, man? Everything going good with you? Let's see. JT comes in and said, yeah, I heard that one transfer player. I heard that one transfer player had Auburn top 5. In my opinion, that means he wants to go to Auburn because they ain't recruiting him right now like the other schools in his top 5 are. Oh, who was that player? Do you know?
It's top 5? No.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay. All right, man. Okay. War Eagle to you too, JT, man. Hope you feeling good, man. Hope you feeling great. Hope everything is going good. Auburn Dad, what's up, man? JT, man. Yeah, man, we at 612, man. We trying to get to 700 before the summer. Man. So we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler as always. Malik Renew. Yeah, Reno. I hope I said it right. Okay. I gotta look that up because I haven't seen that one. I gotta look that one up. The Bashir twins incoming. I thought one of them was I know one is committed to Auburn. I thought the other one was in the transfer portal and testing the NBA waters. The one from
I heard he may go to the league.
Yeah, I heard that one too. I don't know unless he changed his mind. I don't know how to spell it. It's a 4-star from Indiana. Okay. All right, I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look into that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what it is. We didn't get to do it yesterday because we had a special guest. And shout out to Derwin Fields, man. 6'5", 225-pound defensive end, class of 2027. Guy who's gonna be one of the top recruits in the class of 2027. Once that recruiting cycle starts getting in, shout out to him for being on the show yesterday. We're gonna definitely continue to keep in touch with him and his mom and his family, man. That was a great show, man. Great interview,
Man.
humble guy, man. So it's gonna be
Man,
good.
I went and watched some film after I saw it because I he wasn't on my radar at all. But man, that kid, man, we kind of need him on the
I'm telling you, man. He low key kind of gave us his top 3 yesterday. He kind of did.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
Auburn wasn't in it, but you know,
I'm fully confident if he's open to coming on campus, which he said he is. I'm fully confident in our abilities once we get him on campus.
Agree.
Get him in that Auburn environment, man. It's tough to leave out there without a scholarship.
Agree. Very true.
Without wanting to play there.
I do too, man. I'll tell you, man. You watch his film, he sticks out, man. I'm telling you, he gonna be a problem. He gonna be one of the top guys in the 2027 class. Definitely, he gonna be one of the top 3 guys in Mississippi. I mean, he has potential to possibly being a top 50 type guy nationally.
Yeah,
like he has that.
If he put, especially if he put on the weight that he said he wanted to put on, my God. If you hadn't seen the film, just go see his film and then imagine that 35 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's 220. He's between 220 and 225. So if he were to get to about 250, 260,
yeah, it's crazy.
That's a problem. And they still able to maintain that same speed. Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
It's gonna be a problem. But yeah, man, shout out to him, man. We definitely gonna keep in touch with him and his mom and his family, man. Appreciate him for coming on. Cool kid, man. Humble guy, man. Great guy, man. So we're gonna keep rocking with him, man. But ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what it is. It's time for the quote of the day from JT. Let's go, JT.
It's time for JT's quote of the day. The quote of the day from JT. JT has the quote of the day for you and me. What is the quote? We want the quote. We need to know the quote. So what is the quote? It's a quote. It's time for JT's quote of the day. So JT, what is the quote today?
JT, what's the quote today, man? JT said, "You cannot break out if you are not given the ability to play out." And that's from Sean McVay, who's the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. JT, shout out to JT for that quote of the day, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you so much, JT, for that. As always giving us that quote of the day every day, man. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. JT said Trey Donaldson's back in the portal. Potential reunion for Auburn? I don't know.
No.
I don't think that will happen. I got C Hall. What's up, C Hall? Happy Final Four, guys. Happy Final Four to you. Happy Final Four to you, man. That's what's up. All right, so Malik Renault, he says from Indiana, top 5, Auburn, Arkansas, USC, Miami, and Michigan. Hey, all right. I got to go do some more research on that guy from Indiana. Got to go do some more research on him. What happened to No. Bashir, Abdul Bashir is coming to Auburn. His twin brother, Abil, I think his name.
I think it's Abil, maybe.
Yeah. He hit the transfer portal, but he also said he's going to test the NBA as well. So we're going to see what happens with that situation there. So I think people feel like it could be a package deal with him coming to Auburn, but he did mention that he's potentially going to enter the draft and see where it works out at. And if it doesn't work out, he can come back. He can come back out of the portal. Nope, no reunions. Gone is gone. Shout out to C Hall, man. That's what's up. Let's get into the topic for the night, man. Yeah, no problem, C Hall, no problem. Let's get into the topic for the night, man. Joe Phillips, man. All right, so there's some reports coming out of practice today. Shout out to Christian Clemente over at 247 Sports, Auburn Undercover. He basically kind of gave a little rundown of practice today that happened. And one area that had its own paragraph, almost a paragraph, was about Joe Phillips. It was about Joe Phillips. And just to give you some highlights of what he said basically Joe Phillips was easily one of the biggest eye catchers of today at practice, is what he said. Said that he was playing all over the defense. He stopped a run up the middle. He contained a run from the edge position and stopped it from becoming a big play. He was moving around on the defense, so that gives us a little indication that he potentially maybe was playing a little linebacker. Could have been playing some edge, could have been playing a little linebacker. He also stated that he also dropped into coverage, and he had a PBU. He had a pass breakup. He batted the ball down. So it looks as if now that what we're reading from the notes, from what we're reading from the eyes of Christian Clemente from 247 Auburn Undercover, it seems as if shout out to Wade, man. What's going on, Wade? How you feeling, Wade, man? Hope all is good with you, my guy. Hope all is good. JT said, man, the final Auburn game of the year by the hit so hard. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is. But my guy Wade in the chat. What's up, Wade? But basically from the eyes, it seems as if he may be getting a little bit more of an expanded role there in this defense. It seems as if Joe Phillips might be I know the reason he didn't get a little bit of run last year was because he wasn't understanding the playbook quick enough, per se. But it seems as if now he's getting that role. He's more, after being in the system for 1 year. He seems to be more comfortable in this role. That's what it seems like. And so when he's more comfortable, he's able to play more freely and not have to think so much, because it's almost kind of read and react. And you kind of just think, you can kind of think the game through easier when you know what to do on your side of the when you know the playbook. So hearing these things, man, Tez, tell us how you feeling, man. Tell us what you think. Could this be the year that we see the guys out of that 2024 class? You know, the DeMarcus Riddicks, you know, the DJ Barbers, the Joe Phillips, the Morris Williams. Is this the year that we potentially could see, you know, those guys have a breakout season, and particularly Joe Phillips, based on what I read and what we've seen in those notes? What are your thoughts on that?
I like it. And I think, yes, this is the year that we can see a breakout season from that entire class, really. But specifically Joe. A lot of what you touched on earlier is, I mean, last year you could kind of see that he was, while he had the talent, you could see when he was on the field that he may have been a step slow or a step behind. And that just comes with playing in the system. So it's no surprise that another year in the system, he's playing faster, probably playing a lot more free. He's got the measurables to be an elite pass rusher, an elite linebacker. Just by necessity, I think he's gonna play all over the field.
Agreed.
Because I feel like we're gonna need some help, just not from a production standpoint, but from like just a depth standpoint. We're gonna need some help in the middle of the field.
Okay.
So I can see him doing so it's encouraging to hear that he's breaking up passes. That's wonderful. I got, let me see here. These are some stats. So this, like, what do we consider breakout season? I'm gonna read these to you real quick. So we got 22 total tackles, 16 solo tackles, 8 assist tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, no sacks. Would you consider that a breakout season?
It depends on what the previous season was for that particular player. Like, so if that player came, okay, so here's I answer that question this way. So if that player came in and he was highly touted, and I'm using the situation of Joe Phillips. Let's say he was a highly touted freshman coming in. All right.
Okay.
He got some playing time in the system, and you saw flashes of what he potentially could do in this in on the defensive side, and you'd be like, okay, 16 total tackles,
Right.
6 tackles for loss, no
Right.
sacks.
No
Okay.
sacks.
Was he getting any real playing time, or was he just playing in spurts? Was he just playing in certain situations?
So
If I'm looking at that, and then I come back I'm coming into this coming up season, and I'm like, okay, based on what I saw last year, if we are adding on to what we saw last year and we getting progressively better, then I would say no, that's not a breakout season. What those numbers where you just mentioned was
Right.
just an appetizer to what we potentially could see once he's fully invested into the system.
Right. So those numbers were last year numbers for Kieran Crawford.
Okay.
Those numbers has him on SEC watch list.
Exactly.
Those numbers made him an NFL draft candidate. He's on watch for that. But this, I get it, like the situation, how that kind of happened. But the point I'm trying to make is like, what does because last year was our first year with DJ Durkin. We saw the rotation. We saw how many bodies he's like to play. What does a breakout season look like in this defense?
That's a good question.
I don't want us to get, when we start talking about breakout seasons for him, I don't want us to fall in love with the numbers, because he can have an impact. If he puts up those numbers and had an impact that Kieran Crawford had last year, that's as breakout as any.
Agree.
Right?
Agree.
Just because, I mean, even if you compare it, like if you compare it to, I got Jalen McLeod's stats. This is from not last year, but year before last.
So the year he transferred in. Okay.
Yeah, the year he transferred in, and like he kind of was injured at the beginning of the year, but then he kind of came on late.
Yeah.
Put up much better numbers than those, albeit in a different defense. He had 48 total tackles, 35 solo tackles, 13 assists, 10 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 PBU. So, but he played a lot more though. You know what I'm saying? He played a lot in his first season.
Okay.
In a different defense. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is like with DJ Durkin, you're not gonna get as many. You may not get as many snaps.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
To put up elite numbers, especially from.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna hold you right there. What were Jalen McLeod's numbers this past season? Because he played a lot more. He played extremely a lot more.
It's interesting you said that. So he played a significant amount more, right? Was less injured, was on the field a lot more. He put up 57 total tackles.
So 11, so basically 9 more tackles total. Okay.
Yeah. 4 more solo tackles total. 5 more assisted total. 3 more sacks. 3 more sacks. 3 more tackles for loss, 3 more sacks.
3 more
1
sacks.
more fumble.
Okay, that's interesting. Interesting.
And one more fumble. That was this year. So in playing more, his numbers went up. Not as he played a lot more. He played a lot more. He was on the field a lot more this year, but his numbers don't reflect that compared to the numbers of the previous year. So that's kind of the point I'm trying to make. Is like with this defense, with the way he likes to rotate players and keep fresh bodies on the field, and the way he calls defense, like the pressures he sends, it comes from everywhere. You know, it's not one consistent pass rusher all the time. It can come from the secondary, it can come from the interior, it can come anywhere, right? So
Eugene Asante.
Yeah, it's gonna spread out. So like I said, the numbers wise, let's not fall in love with the numbers. But if this kid can get on the field and give me the energy that Kieran Crawford gave us last year, it's gonna be a huge impact. Huge impact.
I'm gonna ask you this. How much? Okay, so the numbers for Jalen McLeod in year 1 compared to year 2 is not that big of a drastic change. But
no,
how much of him coming on at the end of his first year put an alert on to other offenses to be like, we need to key in on this guy. So did that hinder any? Do you think that had anything to hinder with the production part of Jalen McLeod not having 63 total tackles or 64, 65 total tackles?
Yeah, absolutely. You go into 1 year and you the wild card basically. Then the next year you come into the season and everybody knows that you're the best pass rusher on the team, right? So it's like we got to find 35. We got to find an answer for 35, and then we can move on third down. Then we can move on to the rest of the defensive line. But just the way, the nature in which DJ Durkin calls defense, he allows for that. Like, you know what I mean? He's not gonna just put, like he didn't. You see, he didn't just put Jalen McLeod out on the edge and just say, go get the quarterback every single play.
Yeah.
He moved him around a lot. Right. He was very effective. He was very effective doing that. Even Asante got some time off the edge, and every time he blitzed, he got home. So it's like I just don't expect these gaudy numbers from anybody on this team.
I feel what you're saying. Yeah.
It's honestly, it's a lot like the basketball team, right? Like,
it's a team game.
You know, like Miles Kelly's a great player, but he's on a team with a lot of good guards. So he's not going to be able to, put up the numbers. So like, I think that we have a good problem in that regard, that we have a lot of defensive pass rushers, a lot of bodies to throw around. And I think because of that, I think he's going to ball out, but I don't know if he's going to be on the field just enough to be like, oh man, this is just an amazing season. But when we think of Kieran, like right now, we think of Kieran Crawford. You don't think of those numbers at all. Everybody here, everybody in the chat, when I say Kieran Crawford and what he did last year, everybody says the same thing. He came on late and he balled out. Absolutely.
Yep.
You know, it's what he puts on the field, man. The pressures, that's not reflected in the stats.
Agree.
You know, how many times did we see Kieran Crawford running after the quarterback?
Very true. Very true.
Flushing him out of the pocket. Like things like that, man, I feel like this kid is built for that.
I agree with you though. I agree with you. Yeah, the thing that gives me very much of optimism is the fact that he said that he was moving around the defense a lot.
Right.
So that kind of tells me that like in that it's not a 4-2-5 defense. It's really a 3-3-5 defense that Auburn runs, because they have three down linemen that's gonna have their head in the ground most of the majority of the time. But to me, looking, if you watch a 4-2-5 defense, that it's basically a nickel defense. Normally that nickel player can play in the secondary or in the linebacking core. To me, having this 3-3-5, the position that Joe Phillips is going to be playing, it gives him the flexibility to move from the front four, the front line, the defensive line, back to the linebacking core if need be. So he's kind of like that star player, that athletic star player. And when I hear that he's moving around the defense, it based on what you said, because it really kind of slipped my mind when we was thinking about Jalen McLeod, because Jalen McLeod did move around in his defense, a lot. Could it be set up to where he could be taking that type of approach in his defense, to where he will be that kind of Swiss Army knife for the front seven for Auburn's defense? I mean, because when you look at Jamonta Waller is he's bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's more. I don't know if you would say he's more athletic. Probably. I mean, that's a subjective argument. That's a very subjective argument depending on the person that sees it. You look at Jamonta Waller and say he's more athletic than Joe Phillips. I can argue that he's probably not. You know what I'm saying? Right. But the thing is, having Joe Phillips in there, a guy that's 6'2", 6'2.5", and he has the opportunity. He's athletic enough, because watching him in high school, He was playing linebacker in high school. He was rushing the quarterback from the linebacker position. So now having him off the edge, having him being able to have that ability to and that athletic ability to move back and forth in that. And then also the other thing too is he stated he dropped in coverage. So basically, are we looking at him potentially taking that spot that Jalen McLeod had? Because Jalen McLeod did drop in coverage sometimes. You know, we did see that. We didn't see Keldon Faulkner do that. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see this. And I just feel like the more he gets on the field, the more reps he gets, the more he gets comfortable in what the play calls are on the defensive side of the ball, the more the slower the game will get for him, the more he'll be able to just react to what he's seeing because he already knows what the cause is and what the defense, what we're trying to do in the defense now is slowing down for him. And now he can just play football instead of trying to think while trying to play.
Right. I mean,
makes sense.
There's another element to this that I did want to bring up. He's a player who got here last year, and we all saw him. You know, he's from our hometown. We saw him play. Right. We saw the athleticism. We saw what type of physical shape he was in. A lot of times he was the best athlete on the field from a physical standpoint. Where he played. Now, here's what I want to bring up is that we've been to that school. Right?
Yeah.
We know what the facilities are, right?
Yeah.
This isn't Thompson High School. This is not
Sarah Lane, it's not Hoover.
No.
It's none of that.
No. This kid is gonna benefit greatly from that year that he spent in strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
He's probably never been in a program like this before.
Probably he's never been in a program like that.
And if he was that athletic, it's no secret that you're hearing these reports that he's flashing and he's doing all these different things, right? I could imagine what kind of athlete he is right now. I hadn't seen him lately, but I'm just saying, like, he's probably in the best shape of his life.
He gotta be. I mean, I'm looking at it from pictures, and I'm looking at him from when he was in high school to where he is now. He has definitely put on some weight.
Right.
And it's not fat, it's actually muscle that he's putting on. Because I look at his forearms, and I'm like, man, his forearms are looking very strong. No homo, ladies and gentlemen. No homo. I'm just saying, looking at the forearms. I'm just looking at this because the reason why I said it is because I said something last time about dude having a well put together body, and they was like, "What you talking about?" I was like, "Dude, what you talking about? It is what it is." I'm just saying, from a point of view of scouting, just looking at the guy, dude, his forearms, he looks strong, upper body strength looks there, and I just saying he looks like a different dude from what I saw from when I go back and think about where he was in high school back in December of 2023. You know,
and he was impressive then. Like,
exactly.
So it's like, look, I'm telling you, there's a reason why. There's a reason why when people look at new boy Fagans, they say, "Oh, he can play in the SEC right now."
Exactly.
And they look at Jared Smith when they say he can play in the SEC right now. And then you come up here to Alabasta and you go and you take a visit to Thompson High School, and then you just like, "Oh, I get it."
Makes sense. Yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah,
go to Booker T. Washington High School in Tuskegee.
Exactly.
And tell me, like, he came
so
from
this
there?
This is like on track. Like, okay, second year in a SEC strength and conditioning program, and you come from this strength and conditioning program. The jump is probably massive, right?
Yeah,
it compared to coming from Thompson or Sarah Land or somewhere like that, and then going to an SEC program where these high schools programs are actually mimicking SEC programs.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
you can, I can name you right now. I would go Auburn High School, Thompson.
Right.
If you go down here to the Mobile area, I would probably say Fairhope, maybe Foley. Viger's interesting because Viger just got some dogs, bro. That's all it is. Viger just got some ball players over there. That's all that is. They just ball players. But then you go up, you know how Hoover used to be back in the day. You know how Prattville used to be back in the day. Like BTW, we were never on that level.
Yeah, no, we wasn't.
We were never on that level. I went through that program. I mean, we did great. We did okay, but we weren't in that. We didn't have that type of, off season. Well, it was off season training, but it wasn't that. It
didn't mimic an SEC program.
That's the thing.
And the budget, it's call it like it is. The budget
wasn't there. That's just being real. It's being real. But looking at him now, and I'm happy you brought this point up because of the simple fact that being able to go through that off-season training, and not just the weightlifting part, not just the conditioning part, but the nutritional part of it as well too. Like what he's putting in his body, what he's eating to helping him be able to sustain it. Is helping him tremendously. So to your point, I agree with you wholeheartedly. There is nothing. This is not a surprise to me that we're hearing the whispers of he was easily the biggest eye catcher in practice. That's not a surprise to me at all.
Not at all.
Because the thing is, like, it's just like having a car. It's just like if you have a Lexus, if you have a Mercedes, you're not gonna put regular unleaded in a Mercedes. You got to put premium in there. So
I mean, and that's true for, like, we're talking about him, but that's true for any of these kids that come from smaller schools, right? One of the knocks on, I remember, like, not to change the subject off him, but one of the knocks on Alvin Henderson, right, was always he came from a 1A schools.
Yeah.
But you got to think if he's fast there. He gets in this strength and conditioning program. The one thing, a lot of people talk about tape. Oh, you can't judge tape. You're playing against nobody. The one thing you can always judge is like the physical attributes on tape. You can see how fast he's covering those yard markers when he's running. And one thing you cannot deny about Alvin Henderson is he's fast. Now put him from that 1A school in this SEC strength and conditioning program, and what do you think you're going to get?
He's going to get better.
Yeah, you're going to get a massive jump.
Exactly.
A massive jump. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna these kids will be better than anybody on the rosters, but I'm just saying, like, you're playing a video game and you pay for training.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get what you say.
This is percentage of what they can improve. It just goes up because they've never been in programs that are remotely even close to this.
Yeah, I mean, it's and I'm gonna add to this because it's just like when you hear about guys like when they're getting ready for the draft, like when they get ready for draft, the main thing that everybody want to see them do is the 40-yard jazz. So sometimes when you hear guys that run the 40 and they may run a 4.49, but then 2 months of going to a place that's they're training for 8 to 10 weeks to just get ready for the draft,
and
then they're in this system, and then next thing you know they go to the draft, and then next thing you know they run a 4.43. I mean, like it's the little things as well too that help them, like the little stuff that helps them get there. So I mean, it's the same thing in that situation. Like I'm just saying, like I'm just keep reiterating what you said. It's not a surprise that we're hearing Joe Phillips as one of the people that's popping out in practice right now. And I've kind of been saying this for the longest. Marcus has been too, that he just needed an opportunity to get on the field. And once he's from what we're reading and from what we're hearing, what we're seeing is that now that it seems as if he is getting that opportunity, he's understanding what he's supposed to be doing, And now all he has to do is just get the reps to where now the game will slow down for him. So he'll just go out there and play. That's really all it is. So,
and to anybody, like I always say that, like that's development. We talk about development a lot, player development. Development is just, to me, is just like what's my path to get on the field?
Agree.
How can I get on the field? How are you preparing me to get on the field? And it looks like this was the plan the whole time with this kid. Just hey, let him sit behind some veterans, let him learn this system, let him get in the best physical shape, and then come into the spring, you go out there and make plays.
Yeah, man. And I'm happy. I'm happy it is, because I didn't want to say that there was this negative narrative about him last year, Thomas. Because there was a narrative saying that he had to get in the books, he had to learn the books. I was like, dude, smart. Dude, he was a 3 point. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he had like a 3.5 GPA coming out of high school. Like he understood. He knew how to do his work. I mean, it was and this is the conversation that we have about freshmen playing early. When you get into the Deuce Knight situation, is why I just sit back and I just be like, I just feel like I don't like, even though we hear so much about Deuce, I'm just saying, please, let's just let's not throw him into a situation.
Yeah, let's not force it.
Exactly. Let it just naturally happen. If he just naturally comes out and he's the best player, okay, I understand. But let's not sit here and try to throw him into a situation, because we as a fan base and we as people that watch Auburn football are just so like, man, we need something right now because of the simple fact that we haven't had a winning season in almost 5 years. And we just need a savior. And then if he gets out there and messes up, then now guess what? We're gonna be sitting here saying, man, we knew it. Yeah, he a freshman, but yeah, guess what? We knew this was gonna happen. Well, chill out. Let's let it naturally happen. It is what that. Man, let's see what Wade got to say. Man, Wade said he's great. I pray all is well with you. It's the same to you, Wade. Wade, I hope you. Are you on the road? You on the road, Wade? Or you chilling at the house? Let us know, man. Let us know. Saying what's up to Huggy, JT, Auburn Dad, C Hall. What's up, man? The Huggy Beard himself, the legend of Sweet. Huggy, man, you ain't resend me those bars, man. I'm still waiting on. Mr. Wade, what's up, man? Ladies and gentlemen, Tight Sports Alabama Football Megacast. I got. He's not coming to Alabama, Tight. That's not about to happen. This is and Wade said, "What up, Tight?" And Auburn Dad basically summed it up for him. He said, "Tight, this isn't about Joe transferring, so keep dreaming." He's not transferring.
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere.
The King Richard, what's up, man? How you feeling? How's the travel softball going, King? Have y'all started yet? Let us know, man. Let us know how KK and the travel softball team going, man. King. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, that travel ball is something serious, bro.
I was about to ask him. He's in Mobile, right?
Central Nell.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like about 30 to 45 minutes from north of Mobile.
Okay. Hey, King, if you ever up here in the Birmingham area, you mean close for a tournament, I know how that is. My daughter played travel softball for a very long time. And it is intense. But if you're ever in this area, man, shout me out. I
King,
go
we
check
missed
it out,
you
bro.
we missed you at the Senior Bowl. We missed you there.
Yeah.
What is it? Yes, sir, Auburn Dad. James Barnett. What's up, James? How you feeling, my guy, man? Hope all is good with you, man. He's saying what's up to Auburn Dad. He said Nick Tez finally called alive. War Eagle to you, James. We appreciate you so much, man. Welcome around the water cooler with us, man. We appreciate you so much for continuing to rock with us as always. Auburn Dad shouting out James. Tight come in and says, man, Viger has despair and desperation. That is, you know what, Tight? I agree with you there.
It's insanely accurate.
Agree with you there. It is insanely accurate, bro. That's why they so good. They some ballers. That's why they ballers over there. That's facts, man. That's facts. Auburn Dad comes in, man. Can y'all get used to Big Cat this weekend? I mean, I don't like it was a big event. Yeah, so here's the reason why Big Cat was moved to April and not this summer. So I think I can't get used to. It's weird because definitely it was a momentum boost for me going in for Big Cat weekend to go into the season, because you can use that for recruits. Like, all right, look, this is what we doing. You about to see him about the next 2 to 3 weeks. Guess what? We getting ready to start this thing and try to win something. And it can help lead to, getting some recruiting. But the thing is, I think they made July I think the whole month of July is a dead period. So now you can't do any type of, I think you can't do any type of in-person recruiting during the month of July. So July is a whole dead period month. But even that, so I guess the best way that they thought about it was just putting it, during spring practice and giving the guys a opportunity to see the practices and have that kind of momentum going forward. But I don't know, man. It's this whole calendar is messed up. This is the reason why, this whole football athletic calendar is messed up, which is kind of, man, it's bad. I don't like it. I actually agree with Coach Freeze about actually getting rid of the spring game and actually moving it to June. I actually feel that way. I talked about this at nauseum in a show before. It'll just basically give guys the ability to recover for a full 4 to 5 months, and then you start in June, and then you can kind of have those days in June and kind of have a Big Cat then, and it'll still be during the summer, and it still give you a little bit of momentum going into it, because right after that, SEC media days, and then right after SEC media days, you're going straight into fall camp, and then fall camp, boom, we into the season. So it's just interesting.
Yeah, I think that'll actually happen, man. I can see that happening, because with the spring pretty much going away and being non-existent.
Basically, yeah.
They're gonna have to move that somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to benefit. And I think most of the coaches would agree that if they could get these kids for a couple days, a couple weeks in the summer,
a
couple weeks off, and then turn right back around and go right into fall camp, they would agree with that.
Yeah.
If the whole spring was just like strength and conditioning,
basically.
But I do want to say this to that point though. Shout out to Hugh Freeze, man.
Shout out to Coach Hugh Freeze.
A lot of people don't know this, but because it became popular when Prime said it about playing Syracuse and playing another team. Hugh Freeze has been screaming this since the moment he got back, since he was at Liberty.
He did. He was. It's nothing
saying new. That. Yeah, it's not nothing new. No. I love Coach Prime. He didn't come up and reinvent the wheel with this bright idea. It just didn't happen that way. Hugh Freeze has been saying this since Liberty. That like, hey, why don't we play another team?
Yeah, doing something.
You decrease the chances of injury by 50%. It was even a topic at media days. Shout out to Mike G and War Report over there. I remember when they were at media days when Hugh Freeze got here, they asked every single coach, were they willing to do this, because Hugh Freeze had came up with this idea. Well, I'm gonna say he came up with it, but he presented it.
He did.
And every last one of them. Almost every last one of them.
I think Drinkwitz was one of the ones that actually Drinkwitz and Shane Beamer, I think they were one of the ones that actually said something about it as well too.
Yeah. But every last one of them said, hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
I don't blame you.
So
I don't blame you.
It's been trending this way for a minute.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's just, you just got to give it a little bit of time, like everything else. Once enough people in college football feel like, okay, yeah, it'll happen. Just right. It's gonna happen. And when you start hearing people talk about it more, then there's a little bit of smoke, some fire gonna come out in a minute. So I tell you that. 50 Cent, what up, 50? You find me in the club. What up, 50? He said, fellas, up, man. Late, but I made it. Rewatching afterwards. War Damn Eagle, man. Shout out to Kurt. Shout out to Curtis, man. We appreciate you, man, as always, for rocking with us, man. You know, you good. You good money over here, man. You good money over here. James Barnett, man. He said, hey, Nick, I agree with you about Deuce. I have seen our fan base tear these kids apart if they don't play the way we want. Exactly. That's the thing. And then the thing about it is you're dealing with a fragile fan base right now because of the simple fact, because we haven't won anything since 2019. If you want to be real about it. Yeah. So we kind of just grasping for something to kind of just where can we go? And it's a lot. Like, trust me, there's a lot of noise around Deuce Knight. And even if you listen to Coach Hugh Freeze, I was listening to his gaggle today with the reporters that were at practice, and they asked him about the competition at quarterback, and he was like, and the expression on his face, he kind of lit up when they said it. He was like, "Yeah, I like it." He's saying, he was like, he can't wait for, when Ashton Daniels come in, it's a third guy that's in the competition. So, but here's the thing about it. Here's the dichotomy of that. The part I like about it is we're not hearing the things that we heard about it with Payne Thorne. Basically, I'm giving Payne Thorne a job because he's pressing. And I like to hear that you're confident in all the guys that you have. But what you're also doing in that situation is you're basically almost saying that this is an open competition for the starting job, which to me kind of, I understand it, but the thing is, and ride with me for a minute while I try to dissect this.
Go for it.
You allegedly brought in Jackson Arnold allegedly for $1.7 million, allegedly.
Right.
And you have this superstar guy on the bench that's potentially going to be the heir apparent and take over this program. Mm-hmm. Who's a freshman. Everybody knows how I feel about, and I'm just one singular person, knows how I feel about actually starting him right now. I'm not for it. I would rather him sit, get a year under his belt, but if it naturally happens, then yes, naturally put him in the game because he's the best player. Right. But when you say things to the effect of, when you say words like competition, when you say that at the quarterback spot, that kind of gives me a cause to pause a little bit, for the simple fact because you saying that this dude potentially could be that good to come in and start for this team for a guy you allegedly paid $1.7 million to come in to be the starter. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, and it goes back to this point right here that if he's that good, you overpaid for a guy, for one, to basically be a backup, almost. And then two, if he's that good, but then he goes out there and he messes up, what is going to be the narrative about that then? What is the narrative going to be about him then? Is he, and is the and I don't ever want to question anybody mental, because I feel like every athlete, when they get out there, they feel as if they're the most mentally tough person on the field. They can handle anything, because I feel that way. But sometimes it gets to you sometimes. But the thing is, Auburn has a very vast fan base, and we all watch the game.
We do.
If something happens and it happens continuously, the noise that's going to come with it is going to be so loud.
That's true.
That I don't know if that's something that you want to put a freshman through. Like, and you haven't vetted it all the way through yet, even because Ashton Daniels is not even here during the spring. So it's that's a very slippery slope for me when it comes to that particular conversation about the quarterback.
Right. Here's one thing about that I do want to say. I personally, I'm gonna say it like this. I don't think that I'm not in agreement that freshmen should start at quarterback, especially at quarterback.
Okay.
At all. But if there was ever a time to start a freshman at Auburn, this would be the year.
Okay.
It's the reason I say that is because there's no expectations when it comes to quarterback play. Any mistakes by these quarterbacks is going to be reflected on Hugh Freeze. Like you said, that's going to be chatter.
I get where you come from.
It's going to be chatter if he fails. But we've talked about we've trashed quarterback play so much as a fan base and other fans that, like, this year is about Hugh Freeze proving his offense, right?
Okay.
It's not about these quarterbacks at all. I mean, it is, because we need a good trigger man, but it's about Hugh Freeze proving the concepts of his offense. And any failure is going to reflect on him because he's going to be out the door. Like he's not on the buyout no more, so he's going to be out the door. Nobody's going to sit back and say, "Oh, Deuce Knight was a bust" or "Jackson Arnold was trash." They're going to say, "Hugh Freeze can't develop quarterbacks."
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So even that like gives me optimism though, because that means that these guys can go out there and play free without all of that pressure on him.
That's a good point. It's a good point. It's a good point.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Okay, all right. Here's why I would give you a little pushback on that. Here's why I would give you a little pushback. Is it Hugh Freeze's offense, Coach Hugh Freeze's offense, not performing how he wants it to? Because I think we have all admitted that we have seen this offense perform when at its peak. We have seen it perform as it should. So from goal line to the 20-yard line before you get to the red zone, we have all lamented this and said that this offense can move the football. But it was more of red zone, and you saw that last year based off of the offense being last in red zone efficiency. And then just whether it was a coaching decision or whether it was a player decision that led to certain plays happening, i.e. the interception against Oklahoma, i.e. the fourth down play to start the fourth quarter against Georgia, i.e. not letting Hank Brown complete the game, things stuff like that. So it's just that type of, like, is it that? Because I mean, and shout out to Bubba and the old man, because I was sitting here last year, and I was like, this scheme is not working. I said something wrong with the scheme.
No,
that's what I said. But Bubba was like, no, it's not the scheme. What do you mean by scheme? And then I was like, all right, let me think about this. I was like, you know what? He got a point, because it's not the scheme, because technically we are moving the ball. What I was more alluding to was the decision making in key moments is what I was alluding to. So are we going to be saying that he can't develop quarterbacks if this works, or are we still going to be having the same conversation of, is he making the right decisions in the most critical moments to help Auburn win? Because I kind of feel like it's the latter part than anything.
Yeah. I think he just wants to put up so much. I think he wants a team so good that he never has to make decisions in those critical. He rarely has to make decisions in those critical moments.
I agree with you. I feel you on that. I feel you on that one.
Man, and let's just be honest. Like we want to see the long ball, right? Like that's what we want to see. We got 2,700 yards passing last year from a quarterback. Who
would have been a 3,000-yard guy.
Yeah, who was it top 5 or near top 5 all time for us?
Yeah, he was. Peyton Thorne's year last year would have ranked him. I think it slid him into like the top 6. I think he had a top 6 quarterback season.
Yeah, and we're saying that wasn't good enough. We want to see. I mean, everybody's waiting this. Not even just us. Like people who, not even Auburn fans, they know what we have on our roster. Any fan that you talk to that's outside of this Auburn family, the first thing they're gonna mention is Cam Coleman, the Freeze 5. They're gonna mention those receivers. Hugh Freeze mentioned those receivers. Say, hey, they don't play well, we don't win.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. That's what people are gonna be looking for in that little spring practice window. That's what they're looking for. Like nobody. It's one of the things, because I know I'm rambling now, but I suggested that they should just play 7-on-7 in the spring.
Yeah, because that's what people want to see.
Game.
Yeah.
Because that's what people want to see. Nobody's watching the spring game to see the running back get the ball 10, 15 times.
Agree. I mean, even though I kind of want to see who's going to be that guy. But
Yeah.
the newsworthy
But the
story is what these wide receivers and this quarterback gonna look like.
and the defenses and offenses and the schemes are always super vanilla in the spring. So it's like the run game, you don't really get, you don't see a lot of intermediate passes. You're not gonna see any of the stuff from an offense that actually works.
Mhm.
You're gonna
Mhm.
see the exciting plays. So like just make it a 7-on-7 game, throw the ball deep. But that's what people want to see from this offense, from these quarterbacks. That will determine whether people think that he's developing these kids or not. If it's 2,700 yards and there's no deep ball, they're gonna say he's not developing these quarterbacks. It's lackluster development. If it's 2,700 yards and they are down the field,
They be like, "Ooh, we see the
yeah,
difference now." It was Peyton Thorne all the time. I'm like, stop, come on, man.
exactly,
That's what I'm saying.
exactly,
Shout out.
and that affects. Oddly enough, we're having this conversation started about Joseph Phillips, but we're having this conversation about the offense. That affects him as well because if
Mm,
this offense balls out and we're playing up 10 points, 2 touchdowns, if we're up 2 scores in a lot of these games and DJ Durkin can just dial up pass rushes, we'll see him on the field a lot more.
exactly. Agree.
Um,
Agree.
so it all kind of fits, right?
Yeah, it does. I was watching Josh Pate. He did an interview with Brent Venables at Oklahoma head coach, and he asked him at the end of the interview. He asked him, "What is the one thing that you will want as a head coach at the end of the season? At the end of the season coming up, it was either the beginning or the end of the season." He said, "An offense and a defense that complements each other, and one that doesn't compensate for the other one." I was like, "Whoa, that's a mouthful right there." I was like, "I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. That makes a lot of sense." That's cool.
Yeah, it's
Um,
perfect.
Hardhead Life said, "What's up, fellas? What I missed?" Nah, Hardhead, man. Shout out to you for rocking with us, man. We talked a little Joe Phillips, and we got around to the offense because we all some kind of way offense and quarterback play always comes up in conversations because that's just what we all want to see. And then we
Right.
linked it back to Joe Phillips and the defense. So that's what we did, man. Shout out to you, man, for rocking with us here, man. Auburn Dad said, "Hey, tight. How's that Final Four trip? Oh wait, y'all lost." It's all right. It's okay. Sweet Stuffer 256 says, "Been a while since we had a playmaker with the ball. We need Bryce Kane returning kicks or something. I'm more worried about him leaving." That's yeah. I would. I mean, because we've talked about the receiving core, and I think the big three is Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons, and Eric Singleton. But then you're starting to hear a lot about Horatio Fields as well, which kind of gives
Right.
me a little cause about where's Perry in this situation. And then, of course, you hear in reports Clemente talking about, Keandre Lambert Smith was at practice, has been at practice as well, and he's been working primarily with Perry Thompson.
Right.
So, you read into this stuff and you just like how does that work? Because they're raving about Horatio Fields. I mean, when you have the head coach saying we got to steal out of the portal with Horatio Fields,
Yeah.
they really like him.
It's I mean, this receiving core top to bottom, I'm just gonna say is the best in the SEC.
Probably the best in the country.
The only reason I'm not gonna say country because I haven't looked over the teams and found one, but like just right off the top of my head, the only other
I mean,
there is
Ohio
Ohio
State,
State,
but
and
you say
they do
Jeremiah
have that
Smith,
guy.
and they have Jeremiah Smith. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If you look at,
But-
and I'll tell you this: if you look at Oklahoma, I know I've talked about Oklahoma ad nauseum. Deion Burks, Javonte Gibson, and Javonte Gibson at wide receiver. Those three
Mhm.
guys,
Right.
they potentially could be a problem, especially when you pair them with a John Mateer and Ben Arbuckle. Like,
So-
I mean, things stuff like that. But I'm not gonna sit here and say they in the realm of what Auburn got. I don't believe that.
Because I mean, think about it. If you got Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, Malcolm Simmons, right?
Mhm.
Who else in the country can put on the field behind that Horatio Fields, Perry Thompson, and Bryce Kane?
Yeah.
Right. And not to mention Sam
Not
Turner.
to miss
who
Sam Turner. I was just about to
they
say.
are talking about this kid like Man, we didn't know he was a lot. I think the coaches knew, but like a lot of the media personnel, like we didn't. We didn't know this kid was like that. They say he is coming on. Like there is the receiving core is literally. We talk about 8, maybe 6, 7, 8. We can play.
True. Deep, yeah.
At different positions because Eric Singleton and Malcolm Simmons are interchangeable.
Yeah.
Bryce Cain can do a lot of different things. Perry Thompson's a big kid. He can play that can play on the outside and inside. Like they're not just like these pieces that fit in these specific spots. Like they can move around, and it's a ton of them. Man, it's like Coach Free said, we need them to play well. If they don't play well, we don't win.
Agree.
And we got enough. We got enough of them to make a difference, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Cam Coleman fan, ladies and gentlemen, that's Bray. What up, Bray, man? How you doing, man? Hope all is good with you. Hope everything rocking well with you, man. Tight Sports said, "What's up, y'all? Best of luck this weekend." Yeah, we probably gonna need it. Shout out to Sharpshooters. What's up, man? What's up? I got everybody. Go make sure y'all subscribe over to Sharpshooters podcast, man.
Thanks.
Subscribe over there. Auburn Dad said, "Man, tight. We gonna need it. Florida won't be easy at all." Yeah, I agree. Florida won't be easy, especially now with the elbow injury.
We need a healthy tonight, bro.
We do, man. We do. These Alabama fans talking to each other. Wade says, "Sharp, there's no cussing in here." My guy Bray, man, what up, Bray? He said, "Man, can't wait to see Eric Singleton go dumb. He's going to be one of my favorite wide. He's one of my favorite wide receivers already." Yeah, man. Eric Singleton making plays. Cam Coleman's making plays. So it's with the athleticism that Auburn has outside. Be ready for a lot of passes that are going to be 50-50 balls, to where you're just gonna have a lot of guys doing a lot of athletic things to make a lot of wild catches. Wade said, "Tight. I just said no cussing in here." Shout out to Wade. Tell him, Wade. My guy Wade. Tight said, "Fellas, an Auburn superfan, Arenza, said my life would suck once Kirby is named head coach at Auburn. How do you two respond?" This is how I respond. Auburn had a chance to hire Kirby at one point in time, and let's just say it didn't happen. Let's just say he ended up where he is now. But if it did happen, yeah, it's over with for y'all, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. It's over.
Yeah, it'll be over with.
It'll be over with for y'all. Yeah, shout out to Wade. Tight come in and said, "Man, Nick, stop hating and let that young man live. Let him shine. We starting our freshman at wide receiver 3. That's what I'm saying. Y'all are not about to start Keelan Russell at quarterback. You think Alabama will start Keelan Russell at quarterback?
I think he could get on the field.
You know what?
I think the same thing about Deuce Knight. Like I don't be surprised if late in the season, if by the Iron Bowl, don't be surprised if Ty Simpson and Jackson Arnold start the season, but by Iron Bowl, it's a Keelan Russell and Deuce Knight game.
And if that happened, well, I mean, okay, so what would make that happen? They just the better quarterback, or are both teams like losing?
Yeah, just a better quarterback. Like with Ty Simpson and Keelan Russell Keelan Russell is tailor made for that offense for what they want to do. Ty Simpson's kind of inherited quarterback. He can do some of the same things, but like it's almost like Keelan Russell was born to play in that offense, and they get Grubb back, so it's like he fits. So like I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of plan to get him touches, not necessarily rush him on the field, but man, the SEC, you heard the stat, like how many quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks in them playing?
Yeah, each at least I think they said at least like 80% of the teams in the league had to go to their backup quarterback at one point in time. So it's gonna be.
And then with us, we got Jackson Arnold, who is showing in practice. They're saying like, from all the reports, they're saying like, oh, we see he's a former 5-star plus quarterback. Like it's obvious why he was that. Like, but at the same time, quarterback play has been a thing, and we see Hugh Freeze last year had a very short lease for Peyton Thorne.
Yeah.
Threw those picks in that Cal game. Next game, you got to sit down. This is 2 games into the season, right? So, don't be surprised. See dudes like out there.
But then he brought him right back, though. Brought him right back.
Yeah.
So I was like, was that really like what we doing? Come on, man. What we going? What we doing, man? Hallbone said my wife became an Auburn fan in California before we met due to Cam and the 2010 season from her favorite morning commute. I had to buy her his jersey when we got together. She passed it. Oh man, Hallbone, man.
Oh wow,
man.
That's unfortunate.
Heart going out to you and your family, man. We're gonna be praying for you with that, man. Yeah, man. Wow, I did not. We knew that was going on, man, but we knew she was sick, man. We're praying for you, man. My heart goes out to you and your family, man, in this time of bereavement. Just pray that you all just put your strength and the trust in the Lord, man, and that y'all just see that He can get you all through it, man. God, that's tough, man.
It's heavy.
Yeah, that's a little heavy. That's a lot heavy, not a little. That's a lot. Hugh said Bruce been injured this spring, but yeah, Perry scares me. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Yeah, man. Goodness, man. Yeah, I'm still thinking about Hawthorne, man. That's
tough.
They kind of took everything off a little bit. Jesus Christ, man. I don't like that. I'm so sorry, man. I was praying. My friend, my man, I'm so sorry. You're still in my prayers, yeah, man. Our heart goes out to you, man, as always. Need anything, you let us know. I would start before Tight said he would start before Keelan Russell. Tight.
So he would start for getting Austin Mack is number 2. Austin Mack can spin it. He's not.
Hey, Austin Mack like 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, I call him a big kid. But Tight, you won't start before Keelan
Russell. 50, man. He said Fields must be that guy because Freeze keeps saying good things. I'm nervous about Perry and the spring portal guys. Someone help me change this feeling. Yeah, I mean, they really like Horatio Fields. Like, I mean, like I stated earlier, like when you say he's still out of the portal, I mean, that's saying a lot. That's saying he's gonna play a lot. And then the fact that they both play the same position, technically. So, and of course, I think Horatio Field only has 1 year of eligibility left, so he's gonna play.
He's gonna play. I'm a little worried about Perry, but at the same time, I'm of the like we got to get out of that, right? Like it's time to get out of that. We see that hey, if we don't have receiver play, if he decides he want to transfer, we're going in the portal and getting Eric Singletons.
Exactly.
Now at Auburn. Like, you know what I mean? We can kind of like, if he transfers out, it's probably best he's not on the roster anyway, in the spring.
Yeah, and then I
want the best for him. So if there's no path for him to get on the field, he doesn't see where he can contribute for this team. By all means, man, go somewhere and be great.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I tell you this. Yeah, I mean, when it's the thing, like if Auburn starts winning, like if Auburn can, like, and this season is a very important season for Auburn. If Auburn can win, and if Auburn is able to, put up, we keep calling it proof of concept, but I'm just saying if Auburn can just show on the field, that with this talent, like what I know I've been saying, because I'm standing on it. I think Auburn is a 10-win team this year. I think Auburn has a legit chance of hosting a playoff game on campus. I'm standing by that. I think Auburn is a 10-win team. This roster with this talent, Auburn should be a 10-win team. I'm going to stand by that, and I'm going to put my name to it. Auburn should win 10 games this year.
It should be.
And if that happens, you potentially will see a Tristan Keys flip from LSU to Auburn.
Exactly.
You will see a Sedarian Morgan commit to Auburn.
Right.
You will see that type of talent. Those are 2 5-star type talents.
Right.
They are 5 stars. Those are 2 5 stars that are tremendously talented, 2 big guys that will look at it and be like, all right, they showed me what I need to see. You got Deuce Knight coming in. He's gonna be throwing me the ball. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
If we win 10 games, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it'll be the best. 2026 will be the best recruiting class in the history of Auburn football.
That's a lot. Because me and Marcus, we had this conversation.
The composite score is what.
Okay, all right. Because we had this conversation because I think we said that 2024 would be the most pivotal because that would be the class that kind of changed it. 2025, I think, was probably a little bit more talented than 2024, but you have the opportunity to potentially say that if Auburn wins 10 games, like you just said, it's going to potentially be the best class.
Yes.
And that's
if we can land the Tristan Keys, if we can land Sedarian, if we can land, I can't pronounce his name, 5-star tackle.
Emmanuel Iheanacho. Shout out to Emmanuel Iheanacho. When we talked about him, he ended up putting Auburn in his top 7. So that's what I'm saying.
Awesome.
In his top, Auburn's in his top 7.
Yeah, so like we started landing those big names. Like we're talking about a top 3 class easily.
Yeah.
You know, it only takes 1 or 2 players to just put you in the elite status. Yeah, and if we win 10 games, we're a destination spot. Who wouldn't want to play here?
It's a good spot. That's what I'm saying. I mean, literally. 50 said, man, he meant so much for that recruiting class, boosted the perception of Auburn football. It's still relevant to other big time recruits wanted to work for him. But I agree. Do what's best for him all day. Agree. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You gotta agree with that. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, him pushing Hugh Freeze in the pool is a pivotal moment in recruiting history for Auburn.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, this right here, it will help Joe Phillips.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It will help Joe Phillips. And to be honest, man, like a lot, if we take Hugh Freeze for his word, which I've tried to do, which is why I'm so optimistic now about the quarterback play. It's like you mentioned earlier, he didn't talk about Peyton Thorne like this.
He did not.
Everything he said about Peyton Thorne came true. He's like, this guy, we're gonna have some growing pains. Came true. We be a little bit better, but he's not making some of the best decisions.
Yeah.
Came true. Right? Like he hasn't been going up here just hyping these quarterbacks up and it's unwarranted. Or any player for that matter. There's not a player that he's hyped up that just didn't perform on the field. He's been really realistic about how these players perform. For him to say the stuff that he's saying about Jackson Arnold as Deuce Knight is very encouraging.
Yeah,
it's very encouraging because I don't think he would lie about it. Like he is the type of person that would be like, can't wait to Ashton Daniels get here because this ain't it. But another thing that he said was, I can't remember specifically what game it was, but in the press conference afterwards, they asked him why didn't a lot of receivers get playing times, and he was just like, well, our offense didn't move enough. Like we like to rotate receivers on drives, and we couldn't put together drives. Mm-hmm. We kept going 3 and out, so you never got to see a receiver rotation, right? So fixing those critical moments that we talking about, those third downs and those critical moments, they not only affect the offense from a standpoint of points put on the field and efficiency, but they affect the actual rotation of the players that we get to see. Mm-hmm. If we're picking up third downs, then you'll see a Perry Thompson substitute come in there. You'll see a Horatio Fields. You'll see a Bryce Kane get an opportunity on the field because they like to rotate those receivers after they pick up first downs. And if we're not getting off the field, like if we're not picking up those third downs, we're going 3 and out, then all you're going to see is Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, and Malcolm Simmons.
Exactly.
So that situational play call is vital. I can't stress that enough. Like if we have got to fix that part of our offense.
Very true.
In order for the offense to thrive and for the defense, we got a lot of pass rushes. You know, interior of the defense, there's some question marks. We don't have a lot of depth. It almost seems as if they know that, like, hey, we're going to be playing up 2 scores. It reminds me of the Colts. You remember when the Colts had Robert Mathis and all this?
Oh yeah. On the defense side of the ball,
like that, and Bob Sanders. That defense was the personnel was specifically because they knew they were going to be up 2 touchdowns.
Because you had
they were going to be playing that because they had played minute, right? If you could manage to get that defense in a situation where you force them to stop the run late in the game, you could beat them. You could run all over them because they were just chalked with pass rushers, speed on the outside, coverage corners. They knew that it's complementary football, right? Hey, we got this type of offense, we build this type of defense.
Yep.
That's what this feels like when I look at this defense. Because it's just even the buck position, Kerryon Crawford, Joe Phillips, who we're talking about now, Chris Murray is coming in. He's a senior. And you got Jamonte Waller, right?
Yeah.
These guys are going to get on the field. I think all of them are going to get.
They have to get on the field.
Yeah. So we lost like 4 linebackers last year, seniors, or senior linebackers, I think, something like that.
Austin Keys, Sante, Dorian Mausi, and there's one more person. Gote.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. And Eugene.
Yeah, Sante, yeah.
And Austin Keys, you mentioned Mousy, and McLeod if you want to count him.
If you want to add McLeod there too.
So and you think back, like we added 2 veterans transfers, Xavier Atkins, Chris Murray. The rest are freshmen.
Atkins is veteran? He was a freshman last year.
Right. I mean, the rest of them. So okay, you got a veteran in Chris Murray, and then you essentially have 3 freshmen that you
basically. Robert Wood, he's still in there.
Yeah, you got Falk, Deese, Xavier Atkins, 3 freshmen, and then you got Chris Murray. So you're replacing 4 seniors with 3 freshmen and a senior.
Yeah, with a lot of young guys.
Right.
Yeah.
These kids are going to play.
They got to.
You're going to see Joe Phillips on the field.
Exactly. They got to. And which is why when I heard moving around the defense, when you heard him moving around the defense, which is very encouraging which tells me that he's gonna be playing a little bit of linebacker in this defense.
Right.
That's what they told me. Curtis, what up, Curtis? 50 Cent Jackson. He said, heard they've been letting Joe put his hand in the dirt and stand up rushing. I believe he about to show something, and next year he will start at one of the DN spots. DN start? Start up. Wow, that's a strong one. If he's starting, then they saw what we've been seeing. They saw what we were seeing when he was in high school. So that's a strong one. Because I mean, you starting over Kerryon Crawford, you starting over Chris Murray, you starting over. I don't think it was right. I think Kendra Fault is got that position locked up. But and that's even over Marius Williams, who a lot of people are very high on. So
yeah,
it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, man. Harbaugh, man, we with you, man. We with you as always.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Curtis said, man, bro, call the plays and stop worrying about other coaches knowing you or let someone else call the plays, but just one person, please. Yeah, that's the whole thing. This whole they call about committee thing that we were hearing about last year. Yeah,
I hate that.
They need to go in there and come back. It's like if AU goes 6-6, Bama would be 4-8. I like that. Harbaugh said, do we have any Elvis Dumervil types on the team? He's an Auburn type player. That's a good question. Elvis, I'm trying to think through the roster while we do that. Elvis Dumervil.
Elvis Dumervil.
Elvis Dumervil was excuse me. I'm sorry. He was trying to
Did you say Amaris Williams, maybe?
I think he's taller than Elvis Dumervil because Elvis Dumervil.
Yeah,
I'm trying to because Elvis was like 5'10", 5'11". He was like short. He wasn't like your prototypical type, edge rusher, because he was like an edge rusher slash outside linebacker type of guy.
Right.
And I believe he played somewhere between like 250 and 265. Because the reason why I know this is because I remember when he was with the Broncos. That's the reason why I remember Elvis Dumervil. He was with the Broncos. Who do we have like that? That's kind of like that type of player.
Oh man, it would have to be an older player because
Yeah,
kids they get now are massive.
Maybe. I mean, because Zacchaeus, he's still. I don't know. That's a good one, Hardball.
Right. Yeah,
I gotta look through the roster and see. It may be a walk on, or maybe like that.
Zacchaeus Walker is 6'4", 295.
Yeah, that's because I mean that's different because I think every single person everybody on this D line is 6'1",
massive.
Yeah, they big guys. They not like that.
Amaris Williams is 6'2", but he's listed at 269.
Wow. What about Antonio Coleman? What is Antonio Coleman?
Antonio Coleman,
because Antonio Coleman is like 240, 245, 247, and he playing.
No, Antonio Coleman is 6'2", 270.
That's what they got him listed as?
Yeah.
He's not that heavy. He's not 270. He can't be 270. He gotta be like 250. If he's 270, I'm surprised.
Antonio Coleman's pretty. At 270 is for him is actually light.
He's 270. I could have sworn this man was
like
250 in high school because he was at Saraland, and I'm pretty sure he was like 250. He gained 20 pounds. Or that just that roster. That roster. I don't know. I would probably say I remember he was 6'2", 6'1", 6'2".
Let's take a look because that was okay. That was let's look at the official Auburn roster. What do they have him at?
He gotta be like 250, 255 at most.
We're looking for Antonio Coleman.
He's number 99.
Okay, great. I wish I knew his number. Oh, never mind. It's not by numerical order. It's in alphabetical order. So he's at the top. All right. So Auburn has him listed at. Wow, you're right. 6'1", 247.
247. See, that's what I'm saying. So he's a little bit taller than Elvis Dumervil, and he's a little bit lighter than Elvis Dumervil.
And he has a really fast first step too. So
so I would probably have to go Harbone. I'd probably have to go Antonio Coleman. That's probably if I had to go pick somebody right now, that's who I'm gonna go with, Antonio Coleman.
So let me ask you this: just coming off the Elvis Dumervil comparison, could you see him at because Dumervil played all over the field? You see him at 247 being able to do that, slide inside, slide outside?
No, not in this SEC.
No, you don't think so?
No,
you don't think so?
Nah.
What about on passing downs?
I
mean, 3rd and 8, you put him in the interior.
Just to get some
speed.
He's a problem. Just get a small guy.
You surround him with Joe Phillips.
I can see that.
And a lot of speed rushes. I think we're gonna be very intentional about our pass rushes here.
I can see that, like in situational type plays. But the thing is, like, is he gonna stay at 240? Is he gonna stay under 250 pounds though? I just don't see that happening.
What is he gonna still have that fast twitch get off?
That's a good question.
Because even at 240, if he's a step ahead, if he's getting off and he's in the backfield at 240, he's a problem in the interior.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, is he strong enough to go up against? And I'm not. Will he be strong enough to go up against a guard? Let's say a prototypical guard, 6'2", 6'3", 340 pounds. Like, he giving up almost 100 pounds. 330, 325, 330 type, SEC type guard. You know, not to mention if they slide him to the outside, now you're talking about a tackle who probably is 6'5" and up, and they're 315, 320, and they can move. So,
well, I'm gonna tell you like this. That depends on heavily on Malik Blockton.
Yeah.
And the rest of those guys. Jordan Crawford's one of them.
Joe Crawford, big dude though.
Yeah, it's just what I'm saying. So if you put him next to a Jordan Crawford,
they can take on those.
Yeah, and Jordan Crawford's commanding too.
I get what you're saying.
Right now, all of a sudden, him at 240 at 247 is not that big of a. Think about
it had to be some type of rabbit package though that they have to do that with, like quick package.
Yeah, I mean it's situational football, right? In third and 8, 3rd and 5. You know, if we're the defense is what it was supposed to be, we'll have a lot of 3rd and longs. I don't mind him playing in the interior on 3rd and long.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I was trying to find another player comp real quick. It just popped in my head. I just want to see with this guy. Okay. For Antonio, was it Antonio Coleman?
Yeah.
Brandon Graham.
That's a good one. Brandon Graham who just retired from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right. 6'2", 270, 4'7" guy. But was able to play interior, was able to play on the outside, really moved around on the defensive line. But he also played next to some really big guys on that Eagles defensive line.
That's a good point. That's a good
so
point.
I can see that from Antonio Coleman.
Yeah. So Antonio Coleman from Williamson, he was 270, and he played really well. He was signed. He went. I think he went to the Bills. I think he went to Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. He played with Buffalo for 2 or 3 seasons, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So
right.
Yeah, I like that. So having that smaller type guy. I'm not gonna say smaller, but versatile. We'll say that versatile type guy. They can do that, strong enough to bang with those guys on the line on the interior. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, man, we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler as always, man. Tez, tell them where they can find you at. It's it's SE season. I hope I'm saying that.
It's SE season, man. Find me there. No content yet, but coming very soon. I mean, like today is April 1st. So after this weekend, I got like some stuff that I'm ironing out. I'll be posting some content on there. Go follow if you haven't already. It's SE season.
At the bottom of the screen right there.
Yeah, at the bottom of the screen right there. Go follow. Trust me, I am working on some things that are gonna be exciting for all of the viewers, all of the chat, all of the podcast people that I've met throughout this whole process. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to bring something to you guys from my brain, and so y'all can kind of see how I think.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe over on Tez's YouTube channel. If you have not, that is it at the bottom of the screen at ITSSECZN. Again, ITSSECZN on YouTube. Go subscribe. Let's get that man to 50 subscribers. When is your first video coming out? You said May 1st?
Yeah, so right now May 1st is what I'm aiming for.
Okay.
But it may be a little bit earlier than that, maybe a little bit later than that. Just trying to pick out the day of the week that works best for me. But that week of May 1st, you'll see.
Let's get him to 50. Let's get him to 50 subscribers. Let's try to get him to 50
That'd be awesome.
Man. Let's get him there, man. Let's get him there. I trust me, I understand. We got trying to get people to subscribe. I understand, man. It's great. Trying to grow the audience, trying to get people to enjoy it.
That'd be awesome. And I haven't, like I said, I haven't made an official announcement on this yet. This is just strictly like you guys in the chat, like I really, really like you're the reason why I even decided to do this. So like, honestly, yeah. So I want to, bring it to you guys first, and
Yes,
let you
sir.
guys get the first opportunity to get in there. But once I start dropping content, I promise you, I probably won't stop.
Make sure y'all go subscribe to over at Ted's channel, SEC Season. It's gonna be lit, man. It's gonna be lit. Over here, Water Cooler, man. Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook at Water Cooler Talk Podcast, man. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk, and of course on Twitter. We're trying to grow that Twitter following. If you're on Twitter, you have Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at CoolersPod23. Follow us on Twitter at CoolersPod23. Follow us on Twitter at CoolersPod23 if you have a Twitter. And then, of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube. We're trying to get to 700 subscribers here before we're trying to reach that before June. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to 700 before June or before June 1st or before is our goal to try to get to 700 subscribers. So please help us out. Because we have some stuff that we really want to get into when the season starts, and things and stuff like that. And we're trying to travel a little bit with the show. We're trying to take it places, and we're trying to try to get out there and touch some people so we can keep growing and try and keep bringing you some really good content here at Water Cooler Talk Sports as well, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Let's take a look at the comments before we get up out of here, man. King Richard said, man, we had 612, man. We trying to get to 700. We just trying to go that way towards 700. We appreciate y'all, man. King Richard, man, great show, man. It's a great show because you all make the show. The chat makes the show. James Barnett said, man, awesome show, man. James, appreciate you for coming around, man. We thank y'all so much for rocking with us here, man. King Richard said, subscribe, man. We already know you subscribe. Shout out to King
Richard. Hey, don't forget, man. I love softball, bro. Like it's a sport that I wasn't on my radar. My daughter started playing. I've been watching it ever since. If you in this area, man, daughter playing softball, drop a line, let me know. I will come out there and support, and I will be extremely loud.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Shout out to King Richard, man. And shout out to 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson. What's up, man? He said, thank you for a great show, Warrior. Man, shout out to Curtis. You can find me in the club, man. As always, man, we appreciate you, my God. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying, man? We can't do this without y'all. You know what it is, man. We appreciate you so much. Hey, man. We'll be back tomorrow around the water cooler, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be back around the water cooler tomorrow. And I'm gonna keep saying this programming note. Starting during the season, we're not gonna be doing live shows on Friday during the season because we're gonna be trying to travel to some of the recruits and some of their high schools to try to watch them play and get some footage there. So during the season, we won't be doing live shows on Friday. So I'm just gonna keep reiterating that till we get close to the season. I don't want y'all to think we abandon y'all on Fridays when the season starts. It's just a fact that we just got to get out there, get on the road, and try to hit up some of these recruits, try to build some relationships with that. So we appreciate y'all with that, man. But we'll be back around the water cooler tomorrow here for the rest of the year. Not rest of the year, rest of at least the first half of the year, and then July-ish. We'll be here Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central around the water cooler, man. We appreciate y'all as always. Before we get up out of here, as always, man, you all have a good one. Better yet, man, y'all have a great one. As always, y'all be blessed, man. Hallbone, we thinking about you, man. Our hearts go out to you, man. We love you. As always, y'all be good. Make sure y'all give the man upstairs above his. Make sure y'all give him his praise. Make sure y'all give him the glory because he deserves it all. And until tomorrow, around the water cooler, it is one love. Ladies and gentlemen, we out this mug. We holla. Eugene Asante.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this episode of Water Cooler Talks with your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick. Make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you never miss an episode.